Grand Prix.
Yeah.
There are Grand Prix in Asia. I'm going to go to them.
Yep.
And before that, people didn't do the lifestyle. Yeah. They were like, hey, there's a Grand Prix in my area. I'll go to it. And Steve said, you know what? Let's play Magic. Let's go everywhere for it.
He went to a Brazilian Grand Prix once where there were a total of under 10 foreigners.
Yep. He was the guy that started off players traveling for Magic. And now, I mean, it's not uncommon to see people traveling the entire world just for Grand Prix. But Steve-O, he was the one that got that going.
Yeah, he was kind of a Grand Prix master too back in the day. He had a ton of top 8s, right?
Absolutely. I mean, if you are out there, and I know there's only maybe 150 players out there who have 150 people out there who have a Hall of Fame vote, you should vote for Steve-O.
Is it 150?
I'm guessing.
I think it's a bit more, but
I'm not 100% sure. But vote for Steve-O.
Yeah.
That's my advocation of the day.
On the subject of draft, draft opens tomorrow.
Draft opens. Very good times.
Draft.
We asked this earlier in the day, but I'm going to ask you again. What is your favorite common to play in M12 Draft?
Frostbreath.
Why?
I like You played with Blinding Beam, right?
I have.
It's just Blinding Beam. Like every card that everyone's like, oh, this card's Blinding Beam. That's not Blinding Beam. This card is Blinding Beam.
Right.
You have these curves with these...
Wait. Is Sleep Blinding Beam?
Sleep is Blinding Beam.
Okay, there we go.
That's an uncommon. That doesn't count. Yeah, this card is Sleep for everyone who doesn't know about Blinding Beam. It's better than Sleep. It's instant Sleep. Like, you have these aggressive curves of, like, turn 1, Phantom Bear. Turn 2, Coral Merfolk. Turn 3, Benelish Veteran, I believe is the name. The 2/2 that when it attacks, it goes +1/+1. Or 3, and then you just tap down their guys and swing, and they're dead.
Cool beans.
No blocks.
We're about to begin our match. For those of you who are just joining us, this is the Star City Games Live Open Series here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Ari Lax. This is the first match of the top 8. We have on our left, Max Staudacher, I'll say. And what is Max playing?
Max is playing Goblins. As in, not like the Goblins we featured earlier, as in traditional Chieftain War Driver Goblins. And Alex Shawn is playing traditional Blue-Red Splinter Twin.
What do you think has the advantage here?
I think Goblins might be a little bit faster. If Alex wins the die roll, he's definitely a lot more in the match than if he doesn't.
One of the things that it's very likely, we don't have the list in front of us, but as soon as we get an opportunity, we'll get those lists. One of the things that's very possible is that Max could easily have... I'm sorry, Max is the red-blue twin player, right?
No, Alex is.
Oh, Alex is. Alex could have access to sideboarded pyroclasms.
He has ratchet bombs. I don't
ratchet bombs instead. Wow.
I don't believe he has pyros.
Okay.
See if we can get some deck lists coming up in a minute. Yeah, I think the matchup is probably favored towards... I feel like the Goblin deck is definitely favored. I feel like Goblin Grenade targeting creatures is very important as a one-mana answer, which, you know, he doesn't necessarily have the Dismember or the Dispatch or whatever people are playing to deal with that are into the Royal. But Goblin Grenade, you know, you lose a guy, but they don't win the game, and that's pretty much all you need. Rolling to see who goes first. Yeah. I think Max won that roll, it looks like. And that's Adrian running back there to grab some deck lists, hopefully. They might be somewhere around here. Alex's key here is just to have the turn 4, turn 5 kill. Deceiver Exarch can save some damage, which is pretty clutch. As is the ability to Into the Royal in early play or Dismember in early play. Whereas Goblins is just trying to assemble this kind of critical mass of creatures. You know, all of its creatures make its other creatures better, like Bushwhacker, War Driver, and Chieftain. All of those just kind of ramp up into an even more lethal board state every single turn.
That's one of the things that's really exciting about Lord decks.
Yeah.
And War Driver isn't a Lord, but it acts
it's a
Lord-like, you know.
Pumps up. It's a one-sided Lord. It's the blade sliver of the bunch, or whatever that is.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex Shawn went undefeated in the Swiss, with his draw being against Max, who ended up losing his last round to Ben Friedman. Oh, Goblin Grade's a sorcery.
Yeah, Goblin Grade's totally a sorcery.
Too old, before my time.
Right. You know, Goblin Grenade is a sorcery, and it hits creatures and players.
Yes.
One of the two. You get to choose. You don't get both. That'd be sweet, though.
I knew there was some reason. I've been over this. There was some reason this didn't work out. So Max is on the play and chooses to mulligan. Alex's deck is probably much better suited to dealing with that, or at least mulligans than Max's. He has, or even keeping his hands, he has so many cantrips. They have Probe, they have Preordain, and Ponder, and Shrine, and Sea Beyond. Their deck is basically just all cantrips at this point. All cantrips, a couple bounce spells, and
I actually think that Goblins mulligans pretty well, but.
Okay, let's see here.
So what we do see from Max has 2 Grim Lavamancers, and otherwise is running all Goblins.
Goblin Fireslinger makes another appearance.
Yeah, times 2. So he actually runs 2 Goblin Fireslingers over 2 Grim Lavamancers.
Max has no way to deal with the combo game 1 other than double counterspell. That is a main deck
mental misstep. It stopped. What is that?
I think
is it an Arsonist? No, he doesn't have Arsonist.
Any 1-drop. That's all that matters.
I can't see what it is, but it's
that is the one mental misstep for Alex.
Ouch.
He actually mentioned to me, I hope I draw the 1 mental misstep. Looks like his cards are a Preordain, something, and a Splinter Twin that are all getting shuffled away.
He thinks they're pretty fishy. Shuffles them away.
Probably looking for mana at this point if you didn't see it. Yeah, he's got 2 Until Royal, 2 Dismember, Dispel and Mana Leak for interaction, and then 4 Ponder, 4 Preordain, 4 Probe, 4 Blue Shrine of Piercing Visions. That card's actually really good.
Yep, it's not uncommon to see that these days. In fact, it might actually be the most common way to see the red-blue twin now.
Yeah, an interesting thing that actually came up was, if you have multiple shrines. Oh, a Spike Shot Elder that was countered.
There we go.
If you have multiple shrines and then like a Preordain, sometimes it's better to sequence the shrine such that you shrine first, then Preordain, because the cards on the bottom of your deck make up such a big percentage that your Ponder or Preordain's more likely to hit if you Ponder. Seeing more cards and then not shuffling is better.
Off the top, a Goblin Guide. Goblin Guide reveals Halimar Depths. And I believe that's he shuffled, right? So that's a random Halimar Depths right off the top.
Yeah, the natural Halimar Depths off the top.
Alex draws. He has a huge mitt full of cards.
Looks like he's going to play Scalding Tarn.
He's low on mana, but high on combo pieces.
I can't see a Deceiver Exarch, though. Maybe you just want
I think I see 2 Deceiver Exarchs.
Maybe.
How many cards do you have in your hand there,
There's
Alex?
an Exarch, yep. And a Dismember.
Does he have too many cards?
No.
7 on the nose?
Yeah, if he had too many cards, he'd be drawing too many cards.
Goblin Guide comes in. Goblin Guide says, Mountain, there you go. And Max really wants to lay a 2-drop here. Or a 3-drop.
Alex saving his Dismember for one of the Lords, most likely. Or choosing to Mana Leak a Lord.
Ward Driver would be one of the better cards that Max could play here.
Yeah.
Or if he has a 3rd mana, double threading with a 2-drop and a 1-drop.
Looks like he has a Goblin Grenade in hand. That's a Ward Driver. And that's probably a Mana Leak going to come down for that.
It's representing 3 damage right now, but it could be more in the future.
I think that has to be a Mana Leak here.
Players, the StarCityGames.com dealer booth will be closing in about 15 minutes. If you'd like to buy something,
You have to Mana Leak here. You can't afford to take all of the damage from dismembering that guy right now.
And now a thing to remember, both of these players have had the opportunity to review each other's lists.
Yeah.
So if this was the regular Swiss, he might think to himself, I might want to save something up to maybe prevent my opponent's Dismember from hurting my combo. But he knows Max has no Dismembers.
There are 0 copies of that card.
Yeah.
Alex drops a 13 life here.
At least game 1. Game 2, Max can bring it in.
Mana Leak. Yes, he does in fact have some sideboard Dismembers.
Alex untaps, draws an island. He now has all
exactly what he wanted.
He has all that he needs to make the combo happen, and he knows that his opponent's only way of dealing with that is double burn spell. Attack with Goblin Guide. Goblin Guide says, here, have a land. I see an Arid Mesa over there.
Yeah. Okay.
And now, if Max does not leave open 2 mana...
I think the play is in combat, you tap his mountain. Or no, you just let him play whatever he's going to play. actually. That's the right play.
And right now, by casting that Spike Shot
Yeah, you
Elder,
don't want to in combat because of Goblin Grenade being a sorcery on instant. There we go. That's what.
By casting that Spike Shot Elder, Alex John has definitely won this game if he just goes for it.
Well,
I mean, there's no actually he should know that he has won the game.
yeah.
Because even if Max has a land back, at the end of the turn, Alex can tap one of those lands, and then there exists no cards in Max's deck that can stop the combo.
Yep.
And he does not even have a land.
There we go.
Exarch.
Maybe Alex doesn't know Goblin Grenades and sorcery and is just trying to figure out what he...
Might as well just tap the mountain. I mean, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Bolt your face.
Bolt your face. Hope and pray.
There you go. Untapu. Upkeepu. Draw.
Except for he knows he has the mountain, yeah. Lethal.
Here we go. And you're dead. Zot, 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 zot. Zot, 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 zot.
Counting the guys. I've repeated this 3 times. Can we move to the next game?
Demonstrates that he can do an infinite loop and summons a scoop from Max. So, right now we're going to go sideboarding, but that also means we're going to do our first premium giveaway. The premium, remember what you need to do. We're going to ask the question here on air, and then we're going to tweet the question as well. And you need to make sure that you include the hashtag SCG Premium in your answer. And one of the correct answers that answers on that hashtag SCG Premium, one of them will get 3 free months of premium.
Yes. Okay, so the question we have is that level 8 Star City games.
There are level 8. There are several level 8 Star City Games Open Series people in the race right now.
Yeah.
So
one of them made top 8 today, Jerry Thompson. What other level 8 player did he beat playing for top 8? In case you were unaware, your options are Edgar Flores, AJ Soccer, and Alex Bertoncini. So tweet right at us. Include the hashtag SCG Premium with your response. And one random person who answers correctly will receive 3 months of free premium. And that will be going up right on that hashtag right now.
3 free months is 3 good free months,
Yes.
if you ask me. Sideboarding.
Okay.
Maximilian, the Goblin player, he might bring in Mana Barbs. Mana Barbs, if he puts that into an empty board, represents 7 damage for a combo player.
I think he also wants Contested Warzone and Dismember.
Yeah, Dismember he definitely wants.
He can probably board out. Spike Shot Elder is pretty bad here.
I think Spike Shot Elder is not the greatest.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Searing Blaze is also not very good either.
I think Searing Blaze is absolutely terrible in this matchup.
Yeah.
But going back to the Spike Shot Elder, I think to be fair, it does mean that if you've got 4 mana, a Spike Shot Elder plus Lightning Bolt can kill a thing. So I think Fire Slinger might be much more likely to go.
They're both Dwarven ponies.
They're both not particularly exciting.
One of them is a Dwarven pony that... they're both Dwarven ponies. That's all I can say about them.
I mean...
Probably leave an Elder. It probably has a bit more of an upside because there's no blockers.
So he probably is going to bring in up to maybe 8 cards. Which is 1 Contested Warzone, 4 Mana Barbs, 3 Dismember. And it might be some smaller number than that.
I think that he's probably going to board in the Smoldering Spires and this Contested Warzone as well.
Just to have extra land for the Mana Barbs? I buy that.
Yeah, he's probably going to board out...
Grim Lavamancer... actually, Grim Lavamancer is better than Spike Shot Elder.
Yep. 2 mana to upgrade your Lightning Bolts.
So, Searing Blazes go, I think Fire Slinger goes, and I think, you're right, Elders go, and there's the sideboard.
Yeah.
And on the other side...
Alex John has 2 Spellskites that are for sure coming in.
Those are amazing there.
2 Combusts that are not coming in.
Mental Misstep.
Oh yeah, some number of Mental Missteps. Somewhere, but he has access to the full 4 post board. Ratchet Bomb probably coming in.
What do you think of Mutagenic Growth? As
I think that one is for sure coming in.
Yeah, it's really, really good at being able to stop damage-based kill or Dismember.
So we're gonna head back to the match right now, but I think Alex might board out Cataxian Probe and or Dispel or Mana Leak.
I think he's gonna board out Mana Leak actually, and
no, Dispel is probably worse.
I think Mana Leak is still terrible because you're often behind.
But Max has these 3 drops in the form of, he also has Bushwhacker, and he has War Driver, and he has Mana Barbs. All these high cost cards that Alex does have to counter. And it's not like Alex has to use all of his mana every turn. It's not like he has to establish a board. He's just waiting to find the cards and kill them. Like, leaving his mana up's not the biggest issue for Alex's deck. All of his cards cost 1. So Max looks like he's keeping on
Goblin
the play.
Guide turn 1.
Yep.
And Halimar Depths on the
Alex
opposite
did
side.
leave in Mana Leak.
Untapu.
Max draws a Bushwhacker. Looks like he's got a Grenade. Teetering Peak.
Peaks. Attack for 4. Go to 14 on turn 2. It's so good.
Goblin Guide is definitely the best, probably the best right creature of all time.
No. Goblin Welder.
I've had this debate before, and Goblin Welder is a blue card.
Okay, well, I guess I'm being literal, and you're being
I think there might be
spirits.
Yeah,
You're being spirits.
there might be an argument for Goblin Welder not being better than Goblin Guide, though. But it's close. It's Alex with a full grip,
actually,
probably gonna have to discard this turn.
I've got a better one than both.
What?
Goblin Recruiter. There's a reason it was banned.
You got me with Goblin Recruiter. We always forget about that one because you never get to play with it, ever.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Goblin Recruiter, red 1. Arrange as many goblins as you'd like on top of your library in any order.
1 in a red, stack your deck, 1/1.
Stacking your deck's okay. Alex is looking for a discard here. He's been given some free land by Max, but not enough apparently. Actually, no, pardon me. Alex went first, so that's right. Max went first, so
Alex does
he just has an extra card that he has to get rid of.
Probably this Misty Rainforest. Alex does have a lot of fetch lands, which might be a slight liability in this matchup.
Now we have possibility of land creature Bushwhacker.
It's always a good start.
11 life. That is so low. Bushwhacker with kicker.
He's at 11?
He's at 11.
There's no... You got Lightning Bolt, yep.
2/4 bolt, yep.
And that is putting him to 7 if that resolves.
Yep.
Probably getting
He's
Mana
going to
Leak.
go down to 10 to counter this.
Probably down to 8 off of the attack.
Yeah, maybe even less depending.
So 8. And Max has a Goblin Grenade in hand, so Alex is in pretty dangerous territory. It looks like Max left in Searing Blaze, though.
That's very, very strange to me, but...
Maybe he just wants more ways to interact with the twin combo. Searing Blaze, he maybe cut a couple, but it's not the best, but it's not completely blank in terms of dealing with the combo. You know, you have Lavamancer, you have Lightning Bolts, and it lets you upgrade these.
Down to 8. There's a Ratchet Bomb on top.
Not right where you want a Ratchet Bomb.
And he says go.
Those might not be Searing Blazes, I might be mistaken.
I hope they're not Searing Blazes. That would make me sad.
Alex left in Dispel, so it's probably gonna.
I like Dispel. It stops a Dismember. It stops a.
That's definitely a Searing Blaze right there. Is the second card in his hand. There's that big volcanic eruption. I think Alex is probably just gonna play the Arid Mesa past the turn. Deceiver Exarch tapped on the Goblin Guide in combat.
There's a good use of the Searing Blaze is after the block, finishing it off.
Well, he's just gonna tap it down. He's not gonna block.
Oh yeah. But I mean, at a different point, if there's another creature,
Yes.
right?
Alex might also choose to untap his island and leave up Dispel.
That's fair too. Alex goes down to 7.
Mm-hmm. Discarding that Misty Rainforest may prove to be a little bit costly here. He's stuck on 1 blue mana. No 4th land that I can see in his hand.
That's the amount of damage that a
Goblin
red deck
Guide?
is capable of doing. Yeah, Goblin Guide is so good.
Yes, turn 1 Goblin Guide. That was Katsuhiro Mori won Japanese Nationals. Had Goblin Guide.
He had Goblin Guide every game or every turn 1. Like
Yeah.
I think there was not a single turn 1 he didn't have it in that top 8.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
And is it a go from Alex?
Yeah, I think he just has to pass here. Yeah, that Shrine of Piercing Vision is not going to be doing a lot of work this game.
I mean, Shrine might actually be a card you sideboard out. You might not
Yeah.
have the energy the time to take care of it.
I can see boarding on a couple Shrines. Matt reads the Deceiver Exarch that's going to untap this island. I guess Alex wants the attack to come in so he can flip him a land.
Right.
Flips the land. Oh, he main phases it.
Main phases it for the Preordain. Another Deceiver Exarch, and I think that's a Preordain?
I think you just bought him both of those.
And he does. Draws some card.
Dispel.
Does Alex have a mental misstep in hand? I think I see one, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I can't tell. If Max... I think Max has lethal burn right here.
That's a Searing Blaze and a Goblin Grenade. If...
He has a Bushwhacker in hand?
Bushwhacker. Ouch.
That might have also been the card we thought we saw.
Mana Leak on top. Too bad for Alex.
Yeah, this game looks to be over. Alex has the Mutagenic Growth. That's what card you're looking at, Mutagenic.
Yeah. So, takes 3, goes to 4.
Yeah.
And are we going to see the grenade? Do you have the misstep? No,
Nope.
I do not.
Going to game 3 here.
So, I have to say, sorry combo players out there. I'm rooting for the little goblins.
grenades?
Grenades it is.
The new artist is so good.
I think the last time that Goblin Grenade did anything really noteworthy was in the hands of potential Hall of Famer Mark Justice, who I believe used it at Worlds one year.
Yeah. I don't remember ever hearing about that deck.
Well, Mark Justice was, back in the day, a classic, best player in the world at the time, and also one of the best deck builders at the time.
Right. I know who Mark Justice is, but
For the people out there that don't.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I've heard of a lot of the older decks and a lot of the things that occurred back then. It's just, that's one of the things that never really, it's one of those decks that like pops up in the deck, goes 4-2, and the person, you know, misses top 8 and gets top 32 and no one ever hears about it again.
Right. And, you know, one of the things is that when you think about in the history of the game, there are a lot of players who have been incredibly good, and one of the things that happens is they play a deck that's good, but it's maybe not the greatest in the world deck, and so you never actually end up hearing...
Well, maybe it's a mixed format event, and they 6-0 constructed and lose it limited or something, you know.
Absolutely, and it was.
Squadron Hawks may have been a story of the past if it was not picked up again at Paris. You know, Brian Kibler, XOs, doesn't make top 8, and no one ever hears of it again.
We're going now to game 3, where Alex John is in the very, very fortunate position to be able to playing so huge. I mean, when you're talking about a deck with not only Goblin Guides, but like, as you said, this cascading array of damage that builds up, that means that his mana leaks are more live than they were before. His mental missteps don't necessarily cost him 2 life.
Yeah, it's... On the play is huge. There's a lot of things that being on the play does for him, especially in terms of being able to race is the most important. So, let's see. Alex is mostly looking for mental missteps and other interaction in his hand. And I don't really like the Dispels post forward so much because they do not counter a grenade.
Yeah, they don't counter a grenade. They do counter Dismember, but I think I like the Dispels more than I like other things.
I think I like Mutagenic Growth. That's what I like.
We look to see if we're keeping or not. It looks like Alex is that's an I'll keep.
Both players are keeping.
Alex is probably gonna go Island Go. Nope, Island Preordain.
Nope, that's a Halimar Depths.
Oh, Halimar Depths, my bad. Yeah, hold back your hand, man. Quit showing me your hand is what he's saying there, I think. The way that that body language from Max, when he's like, he kind of did this thing like where I think he was saying, "Hey, you're showing me your hand."
This is... Alex is gonna debate whether he wants to stack them that way or the way that is better against Goblin Guide. Opts for the way that beats Goblin Guide. Opponent has Spike Shot Elder, however. Alex just leaves up Mana Leak and passes.
Now, Spike Shot Elder is not a clock. It is a slow guy. In for 1, go to 19. A far cry from the last game where at turn 2, his opponent was at, I believe, 2, 4, 3, at 11 at the end of that turn 2.
I will have to say this, though. Spike Shot Elder is certainly an upgrade from Goblins at the floor.
Sure. Yes. It's an upgrade from Mon's Goblin Raiders. I'm really sorry,
Original
Mons.
Fly players,
Yeah.
but we have to settle for abilities on our beneficial abilities on our 1/1s for 1 nowadays.
Mons Johnson. There we go. War Driver, going to get leaked.
Yep.
War Driver represented 3 damage there, or even 4, depending on what Max did with his turn.
Yep. Alex John going to crack this island, probably preordain into Ponder here.
Right.
Or other way around.
At this
Preordain
point,
into Ponder.
At this point, Alex has done as much damage to himself as Max has done to him.
1. Alex just has to assemble the combo here.
Okay. Alex currently holding Preordain. You say Ponder that you saw as well?
He
And into the
held
Royal?
more depths into the Ponder and then
Okay.
kept the fetch line so he could scry away the cards. He's debating which one to lead on. Chooses the Ponder.
Okay, the Fishy Ponder. Shows a
Ponder.
Dispel, an Island, and something that I
I
missed.
think you know, sir. It's a Ponder.
Okay, so Shuffle Shuffle.
Just no, sir, those.
Okay. Shuffle Shuffle. And the Ponder is still in the midst of resolving. So for those of you who are just joining us, this is the first round of the top 8 here at the Star City Games Open Series in Pittsburgh. I'm Adrian Sullivan, here with Ari Lax. And we're watching Alex John with Red Blue Splinter Twin, the top seed at the end of the Swiss, playing against Max, we'll say Staudacher, who is playing Goblins.
Well, Alex John scries 2 away with the preordain, drawing a Splinter Twin off the top. Under relatively light pressure. Doesn't look like Max has a way to interact with the combo in his hand there, so it looks like he's relatively in the clear if he can hit a Deceiver Extra next turn off his cantrip.
I mean, I would call relatively light pressure here for Max super light.
Yeah,
Like-
I will give you that.
And he's going for another War Driver, it looks like.
Yeah.
Leaving a mana back.
His hand is 2 more guys and a Lightning Bolt.
I cannot tell a lie. I do not know what
Spike
they
Shot,
are.
it's Spike Shot, War Driver, Lightning Bolt, starting time.
Now, if I were Max, I would just drop everything onto the table. Like, drop down an Elder or somebody.
Yeah, he
because,
has to do that this
yeah,
turn.
Alex cannot actually kill him next turn. It takes another turn beyond where he's at. Alex is tapped down for most of his mana
Also,
here.
the 4th mana puts that Lightning Bolt at stopping a Deceiver Extra. So.
Yeah.
He does have interaction, I guess, with the Spike Shot Elders. That card's turning out to be relevant here.
It says go. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I think you lay down. What are you waiting for? You're not going to hang back on a Dismember if you have it. You know your opponent does not have Pyroclasm. No reason to say go there.
He might just be going for the face with Bolt because he doesn't just want to sit there and do nothing with the
Okay.
Spike Shot Elder.
That was not a go end of the turn. That was a
Cut my deck.
cut my deck.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Not being able to hear the players, that hand signal looked to me like a go. Okay. Untap. Draw.
Mental
That was a
misstep.
mental misstep.
Ooh. So he is gonna dig a little more.
He casts Preordain. Sees Spellskite. That's a good card.
I don't think Spellskite's where he wants to be right now.
But
though.
it's a good card.
Sure.
Is that a Deceiver Exarch for the other card?
It's a shrine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Max has access to 2, 4, 6 damage this coming attack phase, assuming nothing else happens.
I
And
think Alex just has to send these 2 to the bottom. I don't really think Spellskite's, it's maybe another draw step, which is another turn, but I don't. That's a very maybe. I think he just needs to see as many cards as possible right now to get the Deceiver Exarch.
double bottom. There it
Yep.
is. Let's see what it gives him.
Another misstep.
Land for the turn.
Yep.
I think Max is going to win this game.
Unless Alex draws a Deceiver Exarch on his next turn. Yes. That is probably it then.
What is that he's drew?
Dismember. That should be enough to win the game.
In for 6. Knocks him down to 11.
Follows up with another War Driver, presumably.
Nice. So next turn, it's 3,
Lethal.
6, 9, 12 damage. Says go. And Alex does not drop the Exarch. I think that's it. I don't know if there's anything that Alex can draw now in order to get him out of this.
I would agree with that statement.
And like looking at his sideboard, looking at his
No power
there's nothing. Well, he could into the Royal to perhaps stay alive.
He has it, but I think staying alive doesn't get you anywhere if you can't kill him on the next
That's
turn.
true, exactly. You're good point.
That should be game.
Right.
If
Untap.
he didn't have the Dismember, there might have been a chance, but that Dismember was the ceiling draw, actually.
He can do 15 damage here.
Got
Make
one
that
guy.
19 damage if he wants it. Might as well. Might as well cast this Mental Misstep. Back down to 15 damage.
Yep.
I'm at 11.
I mean, the only way Alex can win is if Max has the fear of Deceiver Exarch and doesn't attack with the Spike Shot Elders. Which there's no reason to do.
Yeah. Especially with double Spike Shot Elder. Like, Alex goes down to 10 with that fetching of Scalding Tarn. And wait to see basically just how much damage Max does when he kills Alex.
Into the Royal on a War Chief with Kicker is going to happen. Or War Driver, my bad.
And you say okay, because you can attack for 9 and then activate the Spike Shot Elder for the kill. Or probably not 9, you
No.
can attack for 8 and then activate the Spike Shot Elder
No,
for
it's
the
just
kill.
4. Or 6. Just 6.
2, 4, 6. My bad, you're right, thank you. Go down to 4, you're right. They don't get to maintain the War Driver's attack powers there. Yeah, 6. Go to 4.
Probably just Spike Shot Elder him on the spot now, put him to 2. Can't kill you with Exarch next turn, so just get the maximum damage in.
Yeah, get the 2 in for free. He's going to cast the bolt. Okay, go to 1.
He's going to miss up that. Go to 2 instead of 1.
Go to 2 is better than go to 1.
0 mana gain a life. Yeah. Oh, it passes. Whoa.
It's not going to matter, though. There's not anything that can be done to
No,
save
not
him
at
now.
this point. There was a... Oh, there's the Deceiver Exarch. If Alex drew Exarch and had a land that didn't cost him life, he actually was not dead. Tap guy, block guy, or just... Huh. That's interesting. He was not 100% dead because Max decided not to act, or decided to activate, or decided to Lightning Bolt instead of activate the Spike Shot Elder.
You get the untap here.
This was something I was talking about with Gavin, actually, is that, you know, a lot of red players just try and maximize damage in the short term, but, you know, you watch the true Red Master, Patrick Sullivan, do it. He just maximizes damage in the long term. He'll often would commit to just Spike Shot Eldering someone over and over and over until they dealt with it.
Well, like, that was his actual full plan against Crawlblade, is just be like, deal with what I got, and then at a certain point you're going to tap out and I'm going to unload on you.
Yep.
And here we have the Dismember.
Yep.
Now there we go.
That is the match.
Alex scoops it on out.
Still had all these Ember Haulers. The Ember Hauler? Yeah. That's probably what we saw, actually. Not a Searing Blaze, an Ember Hauler.
Okay. That's much more... That's totally acceptable to me, as
Yes.
opposed to the other way around. So, for those of you who were paying attention earlier to our Star City Games Premium giveaway, the question that was asked is, what other level 8 player did Jerry Thompson beat in the final round of the Swiss in order to make the top 8? And what was the answer?
The answer was Alex Bertoncini. So we should have a winner, and the winner for that is Matthew Kolongowski.
I'm going to hope that that's how you pronounce it. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here.
Yeah, and I'm Ari Lax. And Matthew Kolongowski just won 3 months of free Star City Games Premium
That's right.
via our Twitter giveaway. And let's see if I can pronounce this. Max Staudacher, is that correct?
We'll say Staudacher. We might have that
Max
wrong.
Staudacher just defeated Alex Jones to move to the top 4 tomorrow.
Right.
Playing Mono Red Goblins.
Right.
Which was interestingly another deck that we saw making top 8s and top 4s and finals in the early reign of Callblade, actually.
And what we're going to do is we're going to try to see what else we have going on right now,
Yeah.
and see what we have for the remainder of the top 8.
So-
right now, once
Yeah.
we get that, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then after we let you know, we're going to take a break for the rest of the evening until the morning when we pick up with the top 4.
So for those, I don't know if we went over it, but the other matchups are Ben Friedman, Cincinnati top 8er with Callblade. He's playing Heroes of Blade Hold, and I believe he's playing Blade Splicer still.
Right.
Playing against John Sukenik, which is playing he's playing Dark Call. It's not really Dark Blade. He's cut all the blades except for one War and Peace main and one Feast and Famine on the board. He's got an Abyssal Persecutor in his deck, which was all caps on his deck list.
Abyssal Persecutor, like... Psh.
Yeah, and his deck name was...
as he wrote it down on his deck list.
Flores Blade is going down.
Right.
We are calling it Night Shift for the gravitational shifts.
And that is a Glenn Jones naming special, the Night Shift.
So that's on that side of the bracket, and the winner of that's going to play against Goblins tomorrow morning.
Right.
The other side of the matchup, we have... Let's see if I can find these names. We have Kevin Slapnick, I believe.
Right.
Versus... Brian Bronduin, both playing Hero Blade Hold Blade Slicer Call.
Right.
And then in the last match, we have Eric Ciesnik versus Jerry Thompson. Jerry's playing, Eric's playing again, Hero Blade Splicer Call. And Jerry's playing is more, I guess, traditional style with a Mary Angels and a Consecrated Sphinx. No heroes, no Blade Splicers.
So in a certain sense, what we can kind of see is that we've got like 3 different versions of a Caw deck.
Yes.
One is closer to, we'll call it Dark Caw Go, right? It's what I mean by that is, right, it's not relying on the blades as much as the rest of them are, and all of the rest of them are blade decks.
Yes.
And most of those are Hero Splicer style. That means Hero of
Blade Hold.
Blade Hold. I couldn't.
Not Hero of Oxid
I was going to
Ridge.
say
the
Oxid
other hero,
Ridge,
which we've been talking probably more about today.
And then Jerry Thompson as the Emiria Angel player.
So it looks like all the other matches are in Game 3, and we'll be waiting to see who the top 4 is.
Okay, we have one result in, actually. We've got Sukenik apparently just lost.
So Ben Friedman with
Or
Hero
if
Blade.
that's still accurate. Keep going.
So Ben Friedman apparently is going to advance to play Goblins tomorrow morning. So that will be Goblins versus Hero Blade, or Hero Call Blade, or something along those lines.
We'll say Call Blade with Heroes of Blade Hold.
Yep.
Now, one of the things to think about too with this is that the deck that Glenn Jones is calling Night Shift, right? It was running Gravitational Shift.
Which
Gravitational
would have been awesome
not,
against Goblins.
Awesome
but
against Goblins.
Terrible in the mirror.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this 5-drop that basically you can't get rid of. You don't have a Jace the Mind Sculptor to shuffle it away.
Yeah.
And the only way you can really effectively cast it is if you feel comfortable saying, hey, I've got advantage in the skies.
Okay, Jerry also advancing to the semifinals tomorrow. And that just leaves Kevin versus Brian in the Splicer Hero Mirrors. Jerry had a bunch of main deck Oblivion Rings, which is going to be very good in this top 8.
Yeah.
unless he plays against goblins.
One of the things I'm going to predict for the coming weeks is that for as long as we don't have another new set coming out, so up until the point where we're
Innistrad?
seeing Innistrad, right? I think we're going to see a shift towards Oblivion Rings, largely because, like we were talking about before, with the Edgar Flores style builds, distilling Caw-Blade down to its essence isn't as powerful without Mystic and Jace. So you need to be able to do other stuff.
Well, you need to
and
be able
Oblivion
to-
Ring does that.
Well, you need to be able to answer Birthing Pod, and you need to be able to answer Planeswalkers in the Mirror.
Yeah.
I know Ben Friedman's list had 2 Oblivion Rings I saw, so I have to see that. Let's see what else. Yeah, I want to see how Goblins versus Caw-Blade goes tomorrow morning, because that's going to be really awesome. I like that Goblin Grenade can be used to clear a hero.
Right. I like that Goblin Grenade can be used to clear a face.
I mean, yeah, it's probably one of the most powerful conversion rates on not only cards to mana, or cards to damage, but mana to damage.